The most unique selfie and live recorded small plane crashes ever. In this video, we're going to look at some of the most unique live recorded small plane crashes ever. Number 1. Japan Airlines Flight 123. The tragic incident of Japan Airlines Flight 123 still lingers in the air, nearly 4 decades later. The wreckage of the ill-fated flight continues to be discovered, reminding the world of the catastrophic consequences of negligence and silence. On that fateful day, the Boeing 747-100SR, designed to operate on Japan's bustling domestic routes, was carrying 509 passengers and 15 crew members. The flight took off from Tokyo's Haneda Airport, destined for Itami Airport. However, fate had other plans. The plane was 11.5 years old and had accumulated over 25,000 miles of flight hours across 18,835 cycles. 7 years prior, the aircraft had suffered a tail strike during landing at Itami Airport, causing severe damage to the fuselage and rear pressure bulkhead. Although repairs were made, they were not performed adequately, resulting in the appearance of fatigue cracks on the rear bulkhead. Despite this, the airplane continued to fly without issue until it was time to change the damaged component. But the silence of those involved sealed the fate of the passengers and crew on that day. No one spoke of the repairs or the need for a new bulkhead, and the faulty component failed catastrophically while the plane was climbing through 20,900 feet on August 12, 1985. The rear bulkhead ruptured and the auxiliary power unit was torn away from the jet, causing the plane to lose control and crash into the mountains, killing all but 4 of the 524 people on board. The aftermath of the accident revealed a tragic pattern of negligence and cover-ups that was contributed to the disaster. The dark reality of the situation was that innocent lives were lost because of the careless actions of those responsible for the maintenance and repair of the airplane. As the world continues to uncover the wreckage and remnants of this tragedy, it serves as a constant reminder of the importance of transparency, accountability, and diligence in aviation safety. Number 2. Pittsburgh U.S. Airways Flight 427. The tragedy of the U.S. Air Flight 427 remains etched into the memories of those who remember the fateful day of September 8, 1994. The crash in Hopewell Township, Pennsylvania, claimed the lives of all 132 people on board, making it the deadliest crash in the state's aviation history. The flight was scheduled service between Chicago O'Hare International Airport and Palm Beach International Airport with a stopover at Pittsburgh International Airport. The captain, a seasoned pilot who had been with the airline for over a decade, was in control of the aircraft. The flight had been proceeding smoothly until air traffic control alerted the pilots of another aircraft in the vicinity. The situation took a turn for the worse when the plane entered the wake turbulence of a Delta Airlines aircraft. The sudden jolts and buffeting caused the autopilot to struggle to maintain control, and the aircraft began to shake violently. After 2 thumps, the first officer overrode the autopilot without disengaging it, only to make matters worse. Within seconds, the plane began to descend rapidly, falling from the sky at an alarming rate of 3,600 feet per minute. Within 28 seconds of entering the wake turbulence, the plane crashed, killing all 127 passengers and 5 crew members. The disaster shocked the aviation world and left a deep scar on the families and loved ones of those who perished in the crash. The aftermath of the incident revealed a catalog of errors and misjudgments that led to the tragedy. The pilots were inadequately trained to handle such a situation, and the airline's maintenance procedures were found to be lacking. The darkness of the situation was compounded by the fact that the crash could have been prevented with proper training and maintenance protocols. The legacy of U.S. Air Flight 427 serves as a solemn reminder of the importance of constant vigilance and adherence to safety standards in the aviation industry. The loss of so many lives in a single event is a tragedy that should never be repeated, and the lessons learned from this incident must never be forgotten. Number 3. Malaysian Airlines Flight 370, 2014. The haunting mystery of Malaysian Airlines Flight 270 continues to send shivers down the spine of even the most seasoned aviation experts. On March 8, 2014, the Boeing 777 vanished without a trace on its way to Beijing from Kuala Lumpur, leaving no communication with air traffic control after just 38 minutes of departure. The plane was carrying 227 passengers and crew, all of whom were declared missing and presumed dead. The search for the missing aircraft became one of the most expensive and comprehensive search and rescue operations in aviation history. Initial investigations revealed that the plane had deviated from its planned route and was headed westward, sending air traffic control into a frenzy. It was eventually tracked an hour later, but the search efforts were unsuccessful, with no debris or remains found. For years, search teams scoured the Indian Ocean and Western Australia for any trace of the missing plane. Despite the exhaustive search, no tangible evidence was found, and the search was eventually called off in 2018. This left the families of passengers and crew with no closure, only grief and unanswered questions. The Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 incident remains an open wound, with conspiracy theories and speculation still rife. The mysterious disappearance of the aircraft and its occupants has become the subject of numerous documentaries, books, and movies, adding to the eerie aura surrounding the tragedy. While the aviation industry has taken steps to improve tracking technology, the unanswered questions surrounding the MH370 incident continue to cast a dark shadow over air travel. The tragedy serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of human life and the unpredictable nature of the skies, leaving a lasting impact on the aviation community and the world at large. Number 4. China Airlines Flight 140 1994. China Airlines Flight 140 in 1994 was a tragic incident that claimed the lives of 261 people on board. The flight was heading from Shanghai to Nagoya when it crashed during its approach to the airport. The Boeing 737-300 aircraft, which was only 3 years old, was piloted by an experienced captain and co-pilot, which had been with the airline for 12 and 6 years respectively. The flight was uneventful until the approach to Nagoya. The first officer disengaged the autopilot to fly the ILS approach manually, but a mistake caused the plane to turn in the wrong direction. In an attempt to correct the error, the first officer accidentally activated the aircraft's takeoff go-around switch, causing the autopilot to pitch the plane upwards. This unexpected pitch-up maneuver led the plane to stall and ultimately crash, killing most of the passengers and crew on board. The impact was so severe that only 10 people initially survived, and the number later dropped to 7. The crash of Flight 140 was a tragic blow to China Airlines and led to the retirement of the aircraft after the incident. The airline implemented several safety measures to ensure each incident never occurred again, including improved pilot training and the replacement of the takeoff go-around switch. The incident serves as a reminder of the critical importance of following proper procedures and the need for ongoing training and education to prevent such tragedies from occurring again. Number 5. Turkish Airlines Flight 981, which crashed on March 3, 1974, was on one of the most catastrophic single aircraft accidents in aviation history. The flight was en route from Istanbul to London Heathrow, with a stop in Paris Orly Airport. The flight was already crowded due to a strike by British European Airways, and the passengers were eager to reach their destination. However, tragedy struck a few minutes after takeoff when the DC-10's rear cargo door blew open, causing a massive pressure difference in the cabin. The sudden loss of pressure caused the plane's left door to tear off, resulting in a catastrophic failure of the cockpit and control systems. The pilots lost access to critical parts of the aircraft, including 2 engines, the rudder, and the elevator. The loss of control forced the plane to increase speed and crash into the Ermenonville forest in France just 70 seconds after takeoff. All 346 people on board died, and the crash site was so remote and difficult to access that identifying the victims' remains was almost impossible. The crash was a devastating blow to the aviation industry and prompted major safety improvements in airline design and maintenance. However, it was too late for the passengers and crew of Flight 981, who perished in a horrifying accident that would never be forgotten. The memory of this tragedy serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of human life and the importance of ensuring that every precaution is taken to keep passengers safe while flying. The families of the victims continue to mourn their loss, and the aviation industry continues to learn from this tragedy to prevent similar accidents from occurring in the future. And that's a wrap. Thank you for watching.